Hello. I've got to put my socks on. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Good to see you all here. Welcome, 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 welcome. To a wonderful Sunday. It is absolutely beautiful today. If you like a little bit of cloud, here in downtown Portland, Oregon, where we are currently doing our video. Let me go ahead and also grab my drinks, bring them over here. So how is everybody? How's everybody doing on this beautiful Sunday? Oh, somebody had a bagel with 2 eggs. Lovely. Oh, and Sam has already donated $20 to feedamerica.org. Gosh, isn't that lovely of him? Such a sweet guy. So let's go ahead and give gratitude to you and to everybody else who decided to join us today on the Oracle of Whimsy. And we're going to start by giving gratitude to those of you lovely, wonderful, gorgeous people. Oh my gosh. Look at what I've got for you. Somebody said, do the economy, do the economy, do the economy. Do inflation, do inflation, do inflation. Oops. Piece of tissue. So by popular request, we've got this remote, and this. Are you ready? So, well, I don't know. Should we might have to keep going forever and ever and ever. It's going to be a huge show. So thank you to everybody who's tuning in. Thank you to everybody who has supported this humble little tiny channel of from 21,000 now to less than 20,000. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. Let's go ahead and start with gratitude. First off, tell me where you're all from. Like I always like to start by saying that I am broadcasting from somewhere in downtown Portland, Oregon, the beautiful and the greatest city of all, the lovely Portland, Oregon. Someone said, please speak into the microphone. Yes, I can. I understand some people are hard of hearing, and I'm just learning how to use microphone. Also professional singers have told me, you're not using the microphone properly. I guess I'm over here thinking the microphone will pick it up, but so I need to have the microphone closer to my talking. Okay. So where is everybody coming from? Let's find out where our fellow people. We got Mary Hobbs from Seattle. Oh, that's lovely. Welcome, Seattle. Teresa Harper coming in from Texas. Jane Barmash, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. New Jersey, Pink Elephant. That sounds absolutely lovely. Woodinville, Washington. Oh, that sounds like a beautiful part of the world. Hi, Elsie. Redwood is here helping us out, as is Candescent Moon. Much appreciation. I also want to say I really felt kind of alone the last 8 weeks, but that was not the case. Memberships are up. People that saw what I was going through and saw what was really going on, what I was trying to accomplish, and because they saw the subscribers leaving, people started becoming members of the channel to support me, and that really just means a lot to me that people actually did that. So I just wanted to say thank you for that as well. Debbie B in Sarasota. Hi. Tony in Brecksville, Ohio. Lovely. Hi, Sue Malik. Hi, Pamela from California. Mimi Rose. Hi, Pennsylvania. The Wizard of Oz. Lovely. Kirkland, Washington is in the house. Hi, Alwanza, Puerto Rico. New York City. I love it. Jose, great to see you. So, my goodness, the January 6th Commission. Let's talk a little bit about that. And happy Pride if you are celebrating. Now, I am something of a wannabe Jewish mother. Now, a wannabe Jewish mother is much worse than an actual Jewish mother. So please, stay safe. I know it's Pride Month and everybody wants to have fun. You want to go visit your friends, but there are a lot of crazy people out there, as we've been uncovering on this channel. So please, 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 I hope y'all been taking care of yourselves, not running off and going and doing something with people you don't know, because we want everybody in our happy little community safe. So first things first, happy Pride. We gotta give warm hugs to everybody who is celebrating Pride, and those of us who are allies. Happy Pride, happy Pride. First piece of news, let's go ahead and talk about it. Has to do with Rebel Wilson out of Australia. She was having a lovely evening out, it would appear. A lovely romantic dinner with her partner, and looks like the press outed her. So I thought in honor of Pride, we would have that conversation about this rise of Russian propaganda that's going through this fake media channels. We've talked about that a lot today. I've lost, tons of subscribers because I'm freaking out, right? But here's the bigger question that I want people to think about and start talking about, which is not just social media's responsibility to be transparent about who owns these channels, but also our moral responsibility when it comes to social contracts as fellow human beings in society, if we want society to operate as a safe, positive place for everybody. What we can do to call out people that threaten that social contract that says, I honor and respect you as a human being, you honor and respect me as a human being, and we're going to be treating one another with decency. That's out the window now. And so LGBTQ, we're seeing increase in murders. Certainly you don't want to be leaving certain areas by yourself. Trans women, speaking of which, hi, Tawny, we're talking about violence against trans women. It's so funny that Tawny is here. She's an advocate for this. And a therapist, by the way, if you need a great therapist and an advocate who's trans. If you're going through all of that and you need an ally, please reach out to Tawny, because that's actually her job. And Tawny is in Arizona. She just bought property in Arizona. So Tawny, I'm coming to visit you, girlfriend. Sounds great. So that's the conversation that I wanted to start with, is how do you feel about what they did to Rebel Wilson, trying to publicly shame her, like, aha, we got you, as if she did something wrong by going out to dinner with her girlfriend. Pretty disgusting, right? A lot of this stuff is coming out of Australia, the whole right-wing Australian anti-LGBTQ stuff. That's the whole Murdoch. It's not just conservatism. It's really toxic. And on that note, remember we had talked about Adam Waldman and his propaganda machine, and the fact that he was working with Putin and Deripaska, and that he had his official clients and his unofficial clients, and his unofficial clients pay him in unofficial accounts offshore so he doesn't have to pay his taxes. So one of the things you can do with Adam Waldman or any of the Adam Waldman is the main person that is the PR firm that the alt-right, the Russians, etc. use. So all you have to do if you're trying to identify Russian propaganda is Google Russia's PR firm. So that's how it's empowering for you, because Adam Waldman pees on everything he produces. He whips it out and he pees. So all you have to do to find him, since he is a narcissist, is to put in parentheses Adam Waldman, and then all of the fake news channels that he and the alt-right are producing will come up. And so what comes up is the language guy, the language body guy. So the language body guy got hired to destroy two people by this PR firm. This is what I've been able to find out. The two people that Adam Waldman targeted were Amber Heard and Meghan Markle. So the next piece of information we're talking about on gossip is Meghan Markle and her relationship with the body language guy. So if you go to the body language guy, the investigation happens after the people are like, how do you find this stuff? I told you I'm a remote viewer. It works. I mean, I don't know how many times I and my colleagues have proven this stuff. I mean, you should be hiring these people for your companies. We're good people. We're ethical. All right. So how did I find it? I did a remote view. I followed the scent, and then I did the research after I smelled the scent. I was on it like a bone. We talked about that. And I found him. Okay, so the body language guy. So if you're hearing anything that's anti-Meghan Markle, we're talking about Meghan Markle now. We've moved on from Amber. I want to go now on to Meghan Markle. So here's the conversation I want to have. If you are a PR firm and you've been hired to destroy the lives of two powerful women, Amber Heard, who works for the ACLU, freedom of speech, she's their ambassador. She's also quite an ambassador for LGBTQ. So we have that whole thing. We're going to leave that for now. And instead, I want you to turn your attention toward Meghan Markle, who is the second target of Adam Waldman. We know this because the body language guy has in his feed a search Adam Waldman. We know that he took money from Adam Waldman. So why would whoever Adam Waldman's client is be out to get Meghan Markle? We're not talking about that case. Now we're talking about Meghan Markle, a PR firm targeting Meghan Markle. Fake news, fake body language. I just got a message today. Amber was guilty. The body language guy said so, not understanding that they had been thrown into a rabbit hole of disinformation, all produced by the same producer. And the same people will write me. Meghan Markle is a narcissist and evil and satanic demon from hell. Meghan Markle is a person. She has good days. She has bad days. She has days when she doesn't feel like working. She has days when she snaps. She has days when she cries. She has days when she has a tummy ache. She has days when she laughs. She has days when she can be proud of herself. She has days when she feels alone. She has days when she feels she's being understood. She has days when she loves her husband and days when she wants him to go take the kids and give her some room. Because she's a person. She's a person. But what I want to know is I want to know who gave the PR firm the money. Why would you spend that much money to destroy someone's life? It's provable. All I did was put Adam Waldman in parentheses, and out came all of his PR channels. And Amber Heard is not who came up. It was Meghan Markle. So you got two targets. Why? Who would come up with that kind of money? Think about the millions and millions and millions of offshore money that's being poured into a campaign to drive Meghan Markle to suicide. Why? She's just a person. She's not perfect. But again, I'm from West Hollywood. I was the doctor, one of the doctors at West Hollywood. I was the main naturopath, so I was the main kid to go to. She would come into the store where people worked, where I worked, and everybody loved her. She was great. We never had a problem with her. So what's the issue? I stumbled into her wedding party accidentally because all of her friends were having a party in West Hollywood. They invited me. They gave me cake. I talked to girls that went to school with her because we all live in the same neighborhood. That's what I keep trying to I live on the same street as Johnny Depp. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I'm the doctor in the neighborhood. She's great. I've been telling you that for years. Meghan's great. We love Meghan. I don't know how many times to tell you. She's fine. She's a nice lady. You wanna believe it from the people that know her? You wanna work with her? Never any performance problems. I mean, she's fine. Just take some meds, do whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll lose another 1,000 subscribers because I'm defending Meghan Markle. I wanna know why somebody would pay that kind of money just to destroy her because she's black? To discourage other royals not to date black people? What the hell? All right. So there's that. Okay, the next thing we're gonna be talking about is you're gonna be seeing a lot more about okay, so now I wanna talk about January 6th. This is the next thing that's coming in. I want people angry because being a bully on social media is wrong. Okay, let's talk about January 6th. This is another remote view that a lot of readers got right that were doing the work, and that had to do with the fact that when we went into the energy on January 6th, and we were trying to act. This went on for a really long time. That people who were doing HCRV, we were doing profiles on Ivanka, we were doing profiles on Don Jr., we were doing profiles on Kushner. So one of the first things that we found out when we accessed information a few years ago is that I accessed because we pick up thought forms, conversations, arguments, and snitches of of arguments, etc. Kushner, I fell into an argument between Kushner and Ivanka. And in that argument, Kushner said, my children are not going to grow up with a parent in prison. I thought, whoa, what did I just walk into? She was sitting on a bed. She started crying. She confessed that she had lied to him. Then he screamed at her because he realized what she had done. And then he said, I'm not going to grow up. I'm not going to have my kids growing up with a parent in prison. So he was not happy. So she put her signature on documents. Okay. So then we went into Cohen's. Then you guys sent me over to Cohen. You guys kept me busy. You guys kept me so busy a couple of years ago. So then I went over to Michael Cohen. He told me that Ivanka had to confess, baby girl, your signature, your signature's all over the document. Okay. That was yeah, we all know about that. Okay, so then we followed the energy to its natural conclusion, and we said that Ivanka was talking to her mom. We got in, I popped in, and she was talking to her mom. Remember that? And her mom told her to flip on Donald. What else did Ivana tell Ivanka in that conversation? She said, I knew that nothing good would come from your relationship with your father. Oh. Nothing good could come from your relationship with your father. Oh, owie. Boo boo. So Ivanka and Junior are going to roll over on daddy. And we also said that Ivanka will likely do prison. Junior will do prison, but they'll probably make a deal. So where are we headed? So Junior got drunk, had some kind of meltdown, put it on TV. Different people that say the story's been suppressed. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what actually happened. He drove himself to a police station. What What did he do? Sit in the car weeping and call, and then they came out and got him? God. Uh, and then he evidently silently he has agreed to cooperate, and then they suppressed, according to Christie, if you're to Aviolus, is that how you pronounce his name? That makes sense to me because he looked pretty damn drunk, and then the fact that he showed up within hours at that location, there's no way he could have sobered up. So yeah, I would think that there's some truth. People would ask, is there truth to that story? I would think yes. Think about that. Your whole in lot, you just slowly melt down. Your girlfriend leaves you because she sees what's coming down the pipe. And you're left just a blabbering idiot in a car, too afraid to go into the police station, so they have to come out and get you. I don't know. What kind of a song should we sing for him? I don't know. All right. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. Wouldn't you agree? I'm too afraid to come get me. Whimsy, you're an empath. You're supposed to be I am compassionate. Robert Mueller is getting all of his mans. The last man is the PR guy. That's the last guy. The PR guy's got to go down. It's going to be two tricksters waltzing off together into the sunset. Whimsy, who's a trickster. I'm always playing games, but I'm transparent. I'm playing with you. Like right now, I'm trolling Adam Waldman so that he'll bite, which he has been biting, which is extremely satisfying for me, because I'm trying to get attention and smash some things and get the press to start talking and getting people that are more important than that. I'm trolling. That's what's going on. So just ignore it. If it annoys you, I get it. But the trolling is because this is the guy. This is the guy that nearly drove Meghan Markle to suicide. So it's okay. You don't like Amber. I get it. You can continue to hate Amber. But what about Meghan? Okay, so right now, let's talk. The next thing on the list is now everything is going to be remote views on the economy. Is everybody ready for remote views on the economy? And if you haven't had a chance to like yet, I've only got 107 likes, but we got 449 of you here. If you really could help me out, it would be great if you could like the channel. Well, I want to move on from that because it's not about Johnny and Amber. It's about foreign money coming in from foreign lobbyists and fake channels with subliminal anti-LGBTQ messages. And I want it off YouTube, or at the very least, it should be transparent. That's the greater issue. And if I have to lose another 2,000 subscribers to get YouTube to do the right thing, so be it. But they didn't leave. Right? People said they were leaving, but I look at my stats. They didn't leave. They unsubscribed, but they're still watching. We have nearly 500 people here. Come on, they didn't leave. They're just watching unsubscribed. It's a game. Whatever. Okay, so let's talk about the Dow Jones. Now, remember when we had followed the energy and we had talked about people not investing too much in the stock market, because when we followed the energy of inflation and when we just read the news, basic news and basic logic, when you're talking about the fact that they were raising interest rates and everything else that goes into that, we knew that they were doing it to get inflation down. The housing market was going to drop, et cetera. But what we're looking at is that the Dow has slid about 800 points. So we're talking about a major slide in the Dow. Now, as a remote viewer, you follow the energy. So I followed the dip, but what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to follow the dip of the energy, and as you watch it wave, you try to also see if you can align it. This is for remote viewers. This is a really advanced technique. You have a map. Say it says January, February, March, April, and in your mind, you set up your map. You draw it, and then in remote state, you follow the energy rise and fall, and you see if you can align it with the map that you've created of the timeline. So this is the stock market. So the first that I'm doing is the stock market. It's pretty accurate. It's not 100%. Sometimes I'll get off a week or two. The value of the stock market will continue to decline, and it goes pretty low until October, where we could see nearly a crash. So you can see here the remote view of the stock market, where the crash, and we're seeing October. So a steady decline until October. So this tells you, strictly for entertainment purposes only, this is just a girl meditating, right? It felt to me that we would see it really stabilizing the stock market by this October. So we're headed towards really close to a crash on the stock market by October of this year. Okay. The market will continue to drop until October, November of 2022. The nation will be in great mourning. This is the other thing. When I followed the energy around fall of 2022, President Biden was openly weeping in front of Americans. So we follow the energy, and between September, October of 2022, the nation is pulled into extreme mourning. The energies of birth and rebirth are happening. September, October, expect great grief. People will be openly weeping in the streets. A great tragedy. Biden is weeping. So something terrible has happened. I don't know if we get hit by, if it's the culmination of being hit again by these foreign whatever. If so, so on that note, we want people to be very careful about mass shootings. Don't go into areas where there isn't utmost security, particularly around Indian summer, late fall, etc. We could be seeing risk of shootings, etc. Now, you remember what happened in Las Vegas with the open air concert? What was that, late August, September time, where you have these open air concerts? There'll be hundreds, thousands of people, Coachella, etc. Those are areas that are extremely vulnerable. So when I fell into this energy, the nation mourns. And I saw flags at half staffs around the fall, September, this time. I saw the president crying. President Biden was crying, and people were looking at him and crying, and he was holding them, and we were all crying together. That has me concerned. So I would like to see security upped tenfold around that time as a remote viewer. Let's not have that happen if we can avoid it. Okay, so the next thing we looked at is inflation. So the first thing that's going to be going down has to do with oil, and I predict that gas prices begin to go down ASAP. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will see a drop in oil prices. Does that work for everybody? Does that help? The market will continue to crash until October of 2022 based on the energy, which is why I told everybody to hold cash and not invest until we stabilize around October. Any questions about that? I was asked to do this, that's why. I was asked to just today focus on the economy because people are scared and people are afraid they're going to lose their houses. So today is mostly the economy. Okay, so gas prices will be coming down in about 2 to 3 weeks, and that should be giving you some breathing room if you're struggling to pay for gas. Does that help? The second thing that will begin dropping after gas prices will be food. Food prices will begin to decline after gas prices. That will follow in the coming few weeks. The third biggest problem after that is rents and homelessness. So number one is gas prices are resolved in the coming weeks. After that, food prices will slowly decline, drop. Third, we continue to see problems with rent and homelessness. Housing remains a problem and rents remain high, but they will stabilize. The housing market begins to drop, and we could see a steady decline in housing prices by December of 2022. The downside of all of this is that rents are unfortunately going to remain high. If you're looking to buy property, you can begin looking after winter. I would wait until winter of 2023 if you really want to get the best deals. Rent is much slow to recovery, but the government is, oh, this was interesting information. Does anybody know about this who works in social welfare? The government is looking into rent check vouchers. So basically you rent a place, and if you earn less than a certain amount of money, then the government may be able to give you like a $200 a month voucher. So when you write your check to your landlord, you also have a check from the US government for $200, and you sign that and then you mail it to your landlord. Things like that are going to be made available, like a $200 government assistance monthly stipend, things like that. So we're seeing the possibility of stipends coming in to deal with it. Okay, I think that's everything I have. Was there anything else on the remotes that I have to cover for everybody? Does anybody have any questions or concerns about the inflation? Was anybody surprised that Ivanka and Junior cut cords with their dad? That it was inevitable that they were going to cut their relationship with him. Anybody surprised about that? Is anybody surprised about how the remote views, based on how it played itself out, any confusion between versus what I reported versus how it played out, and how I got it wrong, how I got it right? If you have any feedback about that to help me as a remote viewer, I want to do better. I mean, that's why I keep all these notes. I will want to do good work. So you didn't get this quite right. As long as it's based on data, I'm open. All right, that's all the remotes. Oh. Yeah, well, it's a lot, right? It's a lot, as they say. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I can't believe I got that. That was 3 pages of remotes. We got through it in 39 minutes. Woo! You guys are too nice to me. Okay, are we ready for the empath's prayer? Did anybody? Oh, thank you, everybody who's donating. I forgot to mention thank you to everybody who's donating to our charity today. Inflation remains a problem for all of us. Some of us are really struggling with food scarcity, not being able to pay for, it's a choice. Do you pay for breakfast or do you pay for gas? So we again have chosen feedamerica.org as our charity. So if you can, throw a couple bucks into the tip jar for feedamerica.org, I know that the organization would be very grateful, very appreciative. Okay. Any announcements before we get started? Oh, thank you, Anonymous, for that generous donation. Thank you, Anonymous, for the $20 and for the $5. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for the other $20. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful people. All right, let's do the empath's prayer. Oh, thank you, Anonymous. Somebody's going to have a very nice meal because of you folks. Yeah, so government vouchers is probably the only way to make sure, particularly if you have homeless people, if you have seniors, do you really want them out? We better do something because winter's coming. And the gun violence issue. I don't enjoy following the energy and going into a remote view and seeing my president openly weeping. I think it's my gut instinct is that it's a mass shooting that's possibly being planned or something. And whoever's planning it, I got the scent. And so I followed the scent. And when I followed it to its conclusion, the president was weeping. We're done. America's tired. We're tired of this. Let's do the impasse prayer. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journey to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. All right, let's take a look. I lost 1,000 subscribers, but I still have nearly 600 viewers. How's that possible? You can always resubscribe. Yeah, the LBGT. It's a direct hit against the LGBTQ, and trans women are being murdered in record number. I'm afraid for my friends. I'm terrified. I'm really scared. All right, let's do the community prayer. The community reading. So this is the time of the sun. So the first message from Spirit for all of us, for you, for me, for everybody that's watching this channel is that we enter into the karma, the time of the sun. It reminds me of the song we sang a couple days ago, right? I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Sing it with me. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. So, thank you. Performance art. This is the time where the sun comes out, which means that a lot of things that were done to this country, whether it was January 6th, whether it was the stealing of the election in 2016, or the people that were responsible for all of that, now is the time for the sun, which means that now we're having the open hearings about January 6th, the time of gaslighting and mind screws. That's all gone now. And instead, we are in this battle between fake news, fake information, and real news and real information. So we're kind of at war with Russian propaganda, like what we're seeing with these fake channels that are all set up with foreign money with a subtle message that bisexual women are whores, for example, and promiscuous. There's always a little bit of that in these channels. So now we have the sun's coming out. Do a little bit of we'll do a little bit of Kate Bush. The sun's coming out. Yeah. Did you really, really want to hurt me? Do you want to see how it feels? Yeah. Come on, Kate Bush. Did you really, really want to hurt me? Did you want to hear about the deal we're making? It's me. It's you. It's you and me. We were beyond happy. And then the trolls came. So we have this war between truth and fiction. So the sun comes out. The sun's coming out. And then you have what? You have war. The Knight of Swords is war. We are headed to war. So the concern here is that the war in Ukraine escalates. Remember when I went into a remote view on Putin? You can watch what Putin wants. It's from 3 years ago. I have no trouble talking to him. He talks to me very openly. I mean, people like, you can't get in. I can. He told me, I don't, pretty fairly, with HCRV, I think it's fairly easy to talk to him. So he's come out. It was Running Up That Hill, yeah. By Kate Bush. Running up that hill, be running up that road, be running up that field. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Do you want to hurt me? Want to hear about the deal we're making? Yeah. Propaganda, fake news on YouTube. So, but it's all an expression of this war. And the concern here that Putin is going to escalate the war. And if we're seeing Americans weeping in late summer, fall of 2022, do we get hit? Does all out war break out? What the hell is happening? Why are Americans openly weeping in fall of 2022? What the hell? We got to put a stop to this. Let's make sure this doesn't happen. It's the other great thing about following the energy. Free choice, baby. I don't read the future. And I don't believe anybody reads the future, quite frankly, because I believe in free choice. Now, I'll follow the energy to its likely conclusion. You already can create your future by making stupid choices today. For example, if you were to lie on a witness stand because somebody gives you $50,000 and you say, hey, that's life. I got to pay my bills. If somebody does something like that, they've already created their future. So you have cause and effect where it's immediate. If you break the law, there's going to be consequences. But you also have situations where people are just plotting and planning a future event. And that's where HCRV can be very important. And the more specific we can get, the better. Like I had a dream where I saw the mass shooting in Vegas. I saw the shooter. He was openly walking down the street with a gun. He was holding a gun. And I came up out of the dream and I was freaking out and I called, well, I went in and talked to him, to Chuck, and I was, you know how I get hysterical when I see stuff like that, and then everybody thinks I'm crazy until I calm down and a few weeks pass, and then they come back and realize why I was hysterical. So I was like that. I was in that kind of a mental state. But Chuck knows me. And so he calmed me down and he listened, and then the massacre, but I was hysterical because I couldn't find the location. Imagine being a remote viewer where you see what someone's plotting, but you can't find the location. And you know how that people are gonna, that was what happened. So we have this situation being plotted and planned and the same kind of energy. Yeah, geriatric big, because you're picking up on the thought forms of the person who's planning and plotting it. And usually about 3 days prior to a catastrophic event, when it's really close to this dimension, because it'll come down from the higher dimensions, the world of thoughts and ideas. But as people get closer and closer and closer to manifesting, that's when a lot of remote viewers will they'll follow the thought form, and they'll, before it hits an HCRV practitioner, they'll follow the thought form, and they'll try, because for us, we're watching, an HCRV practitioner is watching in slow motion. And then, I told you. Well, we didn't know, but we were screaming. For us, we can follow. What the hell is that? That's what you want to go for. So we have this violent energy. The sun's coming out over January 6th. More people starting to get the truth about what's happening. The other problem, though, is that as a result of that is this conflict that starts to happen, this warring between truth. Now, in your personal life, because this is also on a personal level, you could be finding yourself in some kind of microcosm of this, where you're trying to live your truth and other people are arguing with you. Some version of that, right? So you have energetically for us the truth coming out and then the violence. So somebody, if you are cheating on your wife, if you're a jerk, and you hire and somebody hires a remote viewer, and you've been gaslighting, and your wife is walking around like she just came out of a Russian propaganda film, and she doesn't know what the hell is going on, and she hires some troublemaker like me, and we get into documents and we tell her everything that's going on. The sun's coming out. And because I say, hey, man, you got to do your data collection, because HCRV is a tool to help you locate the data, but you always got to check your work. So she goes and she checks her work, and sure enough, she finds the hotel receipt, etc. What's the response when you find out the truth? So there's that aspect too. You get pretty damn pissed. You chase the truth, but there's also this rage. So many of us are going through anger issues, conflict issues with others, confronting people who we feel have not been forthcoming. Many of us will be victorious in our pursuits in life so long as we faithfully adhere to the truth. Keep your businesses clean. There's a warning here that all people remain clean to your businesses. Tell the truth. Be scrupulous in all deeds. Pay your taxes. Do not cheat the government. Do not cheat anyone. Fight for tax reform, but be scrupulous in all words and deeds, because this is the time of the reckoning. I'm sorry, but I have to be honest about these cards. Let's go deeper into it. The first house for you. It's over, baby. The old ways are gone. That's another great song. Lorena McKennitt. The old ways are gone. And we have karma. Take a look at that for the first and second house for this community. It also means that relationships are over. You know, I was meditating today before I went into this session with all of you to give you guys your reading. And people are done. They're done with being abused. You can love somebody till the cows go home, but if they don't treat you right, you're done. What sits in your third house? Your ethos, your ethics. Look at this. This is what you're coming out of. You'd rather die alone under a tree by a stream like the Buddha, just keep me warm. I'll go back to God, than participate in this crap. Oh yeah, baby. And where you're headed, your own recovery. So this is a time where you are, look, a lot of relationships ended or are ending. You know what this sound, when I was meditating on this energy of I'm done, I'm out, I did have a song for you all. Go with God. Go with God. Do you know that song? Da, 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 da. That's what you got to tell the people that are driving you crazy, that are abusive, gaslighting you, that want to take your money. That's basically what they're saying, grabbing onto coin, parasitic energy, money. You got to save yourself, honey. Double aces for us. Da, 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 da. Go with God and let love lead the way. Go with God. I can't make you happy. Go with God. With the wind on your back, the sun in your face, the promise of God, the promise of grace. Go with God and let love lead the way. Go with God. Go with God. And so some version of that also played itself out on this channel, right? Sometimes you have to stand in your ethos. This is the third house. It's what we sit in. It's what we marinate in. We're done. Holding on to our ethos. Walking away from what I built. My karma with this situation, this person is completed. The issue of conflict between you and the other. Give, no balance in the relationship. It's very easy to read these cards. The truth comes out about the nature of your relationships. Your response, toxin, anger, fighting back. Your final outcome, a new beginning awaits. Your own power brings money that you keep for yourself that can be put towards pot. Look at this. Double aces. Did some of you go through divorces? Some of y'all in the last couple of years getting divorced? Cutting off family? What's that? Why did they say you cut the money off? What's with the money stream? What the hell? Somebody borrowing money from you and not paying it back? That ain't right. I'm sorry. That's what they say. I'm so sorry, you guys. Evidently, a lot of you are cutting off. I'm just sorry. Sucky. But you got double aces, to save yourselves. Put your energy towards yourself. That's what Spirit is saying. Be true to yourself. You're sitting in a Hierophant. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. March of Our Lives, the scare, the fact that there was something, I think something fell from the stand. But yeah, I really want you guys to be careful. What? This is what you guys are dealing with? Oh my God. That's horrible, Shar. Yeah, you had like thief stuff coming up, or not just thief, but just people draining you energetically and financially. It came up a lot here. All right, whenever I get the order, we can blitz, blitz, blitz away. I'm sorry y'all feeling that way. Lots of jerks in the world. I just need to get the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away, and we'll go. We have plenty of time. What'd you think? Did the reading help you? That was kind of Debbie Downer. It was all about getting away from people. Maybe that's what we all have to do. We have to kind of separate from each other so that we can hear our own voice a little bit. If we're just shouting at each other and nobody's listening, maybe that's one aspect of that reading. Maybe we all have to kind of pull back and say, well, wait a minute. Excuse me. All right, I've got the order. So I'm going to go now and take a look at the red question marks that we've got here. Okay, so Pink Elephant, he or she wants, or they wants to know, Putin's starving other nations by not allowing grain exports out of Ukraine. That's really sick and sounds like something he would do. I just want to go on record because I know now that Putin's lawyer, PR person watches, because he and I have been trolling each other on Twitter. I just to let Mr. Putin know, if his PR guy's watching, I never spoke ill of Putin, did I? I mean, I was very judicious. I really tried to be fair with everybody. So don't know why they would come after me, since I was the most fair, I think, of all the readers. Did y'all like the picture of Ginny Thomas dressed like the Statue of Liberty, screaming like she had had one too many martinis? Yes, somebody said that can't be Ginny Thomas. Oh, it was Ginny Thomas. Did y'all see the picture of her dressed like the Statue of Liberty? She looked like she was really drunk. Save the whales. It's the wrong rock. That's not this protest. She looked like she didn't know where the hell she was. Okay, Putin. Oh my God. Reddit is a reliable news source? No, it's just a place where you say Reddit, and then you look at what you've read, and then you check who wrote the article, and you do just like anything that you've read. They put up media, and then you have to go and find out, is the media owned by the alt-right? Like Markle, for example, I Googled Adam Waldman. He's a wonderful guy, because Adam Waldman's PR firm put the search term Adam Waldman in everything that he produces. So when you Google Adam Waldman, all of his articles in Markle, Adam Waldman bravely pursues evil Amber. Adam Waldman takes on. Did you see some of the pictures he had put up of himself on Film Streak? Is a picture. He's got a picture of himself like this. And then Amber's like, he takes on Amber. I mean, it's just like really cheesy, hokey Russian propaganda. It's just like, and it's always got his P mark on it. Psst, this is an Adam Waldman Russian propaganda production. Psst. You want to find him? Put his name in parentheses. He pees all over his stuff. That's how I found out that he was the PR guy destroying Meghan Markle's life. It's all one guy. You want to save Meghan Markle's life? You care about what's happened to her? Go after this guy. It's all him. Him paying all this army of people to drive that poor woman to suicide. It's all Putin. Putin and Murdoch. All right. Can't predict if Putin's going to die or anything, but let's see what he's up to with people starving. It's one PR firm. So you take that money and then you have hundreds and thousands of alt-right channels on YouTube, alt-right magazines, etc. They're PR magazines, and PR firms give you the PR article and then pay Marca or whatever newspaper to publish it with anti-Meghan Markle stuff. That's all being churned out by this PR guy. So it goes from the PR guy to the fake channels and to the fake newspapers. The real newspapers don't cover Meghan like that. So because he's got such deep pockets, Adam Waldman's PR firm, we're talking about a man who's getting together on mega yachts. He met Johnny Depp on Ben Salman's mega yacht because Ben Salman off the books was using him. Remember, Adam Waldman has on the books clients and he has off the books clients. Off the books clients pay him in offshore accounts, which he's not declaring and hasn't paid taxes on, at least 3 of which I was locating, but he's got smaller accounts too, I believe, which is smart of him. He keeps opening up new accounts so that the feds won't find them. Strictly for entertainment purposes only. With his clients, which he's not declaring, who pay him in money he's not declaring, Bitcoin, hidden accounts, Seychelles, Cayman Islands. And so they take all of that money, billions, and they pour it into funding these little alt-right channels. And then the little alt-right channels are sponsored by these oligarchs like Ben Salman, etc., to churn out news. They own the news. So they own Court TV. The Katz Group is one. I'm trying to find out who really owns the Katz Group. Dan Abrams, who owns Crime Court TV. And they basically give them money and then they hire their own reporters, just like Fox News hires their reporters, just like OWN TV and Newsmax, and they put on a show. So the people that produce Newsmax are the same people that do Court TV, etc., and they're not really that good. They also, I believe, gave money to Emily D. Baker, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about that because Emily D. Baker intentionally spins things towards the right in ways where she's even been caught lying, which tells me somebody is paying her. She's also been interviewed quite a bit on Fox. And if she isn't a permanent legal analyst on Fox, she will be. So it goes back again to how we consume news, who is producing news, and how PR firms write fake articles and then plant them in PR firm fake newspapers that get picked up. And it's all just one PR firm. But it's a PR firm with very deep pockets. So Meghan Markle became the target of that PR firm and continues to be the target of that PR firm. And she has asked for help from the royals, from their PR people, from their human resources to please help. And they have not. So your job and my job is to let everybody know that it's all just one PR firm. And it's all been traced back to the same money. That is your job. That is my job. It is our responsibility. And it's also our responsibility to let YouTube know that we don't want bad actors, foreign actors coming in and participating in swaying our democracy. And if they're going to take foreign money, you have a moral responsibility to publicly let the audience know that. This is an alt-right channel. They're trying to get you to think ABC, and their money is coming from offshore accounts. That's all. And then let us make informed consents that this is a Russian channel, that the body language guy is filming out of Romania, and that he's been paid to produce by a PR firm hostile stuff about Meghan Markle. And people believe it's real. They believe he's a real language guy. They believe that he's really and it's just alt-right spin. I know. So wrong, so wrong, so wrong. Things are very bad right now, and we are looking at potential. People are very concerned about food crisis in Ukraine, and I'm feeling like the main issue here is the ability to get food supplies in, and the fact that it almost feels like they're being raped. He's going in, he's stealing everything, and then the food is not being left for the people. And this is looking a lot like the famines that took place at the turn of the 20th century in Eastern Europe, where people didn't have enough money for bread. We're seeing some concerns about that. I'm sorry, but Ukraine looks very bad right now in terms of access of basic resources. And also, when I go into this remote, I have to tell you that they bombed so much of the infrastructure that I am in some areas of Mariupol. They contaminated the water supply is what I'm saying. So they were bombing their water sources. And of course, now that I'm in this remote, I'm assuming, what did they do? They intentionally bombed the water source so that people couldn't get clean drinking water? What? To dry them out so they had to come out of Mariupol? Because that's what they're showing me right now. Can you imagine drying somebody out and bombing their water sources so people can't get water? The level of evil that you would have. I mean, come on. We're not talking about trying to save these places. So we enter into the remote through the Five of Pentacles, poverty, poverty, poverty over Ukraine, destitute, can't get into the church. Well, the church was ransacked. They stole all the icons because they're such spiritual people, right? Yeah, CC, that's true. TYT is paid sponsorship for the left, and that's okay. But they openly say we are the left, we are progressive. So you have this poverty and money coming in and jobs coming in. So we are going to pay, the international community is going to hire international help in the form of jobs, etc. But yeah, he's trying to starve them out. There's a star over Ukraine, which is good news, and Two of Pentacles, which could indicate that there's two separate factions. Two money, it's also coin. Things are very bad. Things are very bad. And we cannot let up, and it's going to go from bad to worse, and it's possible we could see a cooling down and an escalation of the war in Ukraine with violent, desperate behavior on the part of the Russians, and he's already secured 20%. He feels that he is winning. But for the people stuck there, I think, unfortunately, it's going to go from bad to worse because of this lack of resources. And we see here again the clarification. No working hospitals, contaminated muddy water, lack of food, rotting bodies that haven't been buried, disease setting in. How the world responds, the other in relation. money, jobs, work, international, and we are grieving. The hope and the fear, the star and the investment into Ukraine. The future, dirty money, and a potential escalation of the war, and possibly the West getting involved with and going to war with Russia. It could escalate, and this could be part of why we see a weeping this fall. The trickster, war, the truth against the trickster. I'm very concerned. You know, I want to be that channel that tells you that everything's going to be okay, because people desperately want to hear that. I want to be able to give that to you. And I can't, sometimes I can't. But what we can do is we can all hunker down together and help each other. And if we have an extra dollar that we can donate to feedamerica.org or to the community kitchen to help the people in Ukraine, we can be part of the force for good. We can protect, we can warn people, we can use our dollars for change if we have them. We can be kind to our neighbors. There's so many things we can do, but I'm sorry to say I can't spin a 5 of Pentacles and a 10 of Swords as the environment of Ukraine over the next few months. It's just... If there are any readers out there that could. Now, the good news is 10 of Swords, the sun is rising. That's even in the most negative card in the card chart, which I think most of us agree is the 10 of Swords. We still see the sun rising. We do see the star over Ukraine. So the sun will rise again, but this is totally evil. So in answer to Pink Elephant's question, yeah, he's starving them out. I mean, can you believe that? The level of evil. So it just should inspire us more to support Ukraine. Okay, so Kathy is concerned about the vision of him openly weeping while people look to him for guidance, and all he does is hold the American people. I don't want Putin to escalate this war. I don't want him to drop a nuclear weapon or something like that, to prove somewhat crazy point, because I could. So let's see if we can follow this energy and this vision and see if we can get a little bit more information about why Americans are weeping this fall. Good God. Just, and the crying is like a senseless weeping. Like, why did this happen, Mr. President? Why? And he's just crying. I don't know. There are bad people in this world. That was the vision. I'm like, oh, hell. When I saw that vision last night, I was like, and I saw Biden like openly like weeping, and like everybody like, why did this happen, Mr. Like looking to him for guidance, and all he could do was cry. I'm like, what the hell just happened? That's not one. Come on, that's not a vision you want to share. That's one of those visions where you sit on your hands and say, maybe I won't tell people what I saw. But then that's not honest either. You're like, come on, you need to tell us that stuff, because if something's coming down the pipe, we need to find out what it is, if nothing else, so that we can protect ourselves. Let's try and see if we can get more information about it. Isn't that a horrible vision? And then when you describe it to other readers and they sit in the energy, they get the same thing. And then they say, oh, hell. My friends are like, really? Let me try. Really? Oh, hell. So there's that. Are we building towards war with Ukraine? Are we going to get hit by a bomb? Is it going to be like, what the heck is somebody planning? Let's see if we can prevent this. Let's see if we can give a heads up to the feds so that we can try and help them locate what this incident is. I can feel it under my skin. The plotting of whatever this is, I can literally feel it under my, yeah. We're at war. Someone's declared war on us. We're going to be hit. Someone's plotting an attack against the U.S. It'll hit either late summer or early fall. So it's foreign. It's linked back to foreign money. Oh, God. The nation is confused. So we've been attacked. Jesus. Our economy looks terrible this fall. Like I'm saying, I'm sorry. But the good news, hey, at least you got the information so you can protect yourself and not buy stocks. Oh, I got the hit. Putin says that they're planning on hitting us because the goal is to bankrupt the US by this fall. They want to crash our market, and then we're also going to get hit. That's the answer. They're trying to crash us, trying to crash the market. Market crash. Violence and attack. We're vulnerable. We're not ready. We can catch this. We can catch it. There's a chance they could catch it. It doesn't have to happen. We live in a multiverse. Oh, Archangel Michael's over it. So basically what they're saying is if we got attacked, say we got attacked by the alt-right or some mad people that got together that unbeknownst to them were had totally gobbled up Russian propaganda, but they didn't know it was Russian propaganda because they were watching Food Network and stuff on YouTube, and they didn't know that they had been pulled into a rabbit hole through some other means. And so you have groups like the Proud Boys, etc., that are part of the white supremacist organizations that have been hijacked by foreign actors, like Russia pours a lot of money into the alt-right. And so it looks like we could get hit by political extremists. It could be that political extremists are planning attack. It could be that it was coordinated with foreign money in an attempt to, basically, from what I can figure out here, these random attacks in combination with what's happening internationally are an attempt to bankrupt the United States. And that is where we are headed in the fall if the feds don't start tightening security and looking at this from a distance. Because objectively, they're trying to bankrupt us. That's what's happening. It's a bankruptcy card. This is war. Probably, I would say with those cards, domestic terrorist fueled by foreign money. That's the most likely hit. Well, that was pleasant. But the positive aspect with the star coming in and Archangel Michael is there's still a chance that if we go into extreme tight security from within our ranks with this January 6th, we can find these plots and we can get rid of them. But it was a plot. It's a plot, and it's most likely linked back to foreign money. Well, that was fun. Okay, so yeah, that was really not fun. Who owns the Nielsen ratings? That I don't know. What news sources do I rely on? Reuters and AP, if it's in Reuters and AP. But then I also look at the reputation. I look at conventional news. PBS, Reuters, The Guardian, The New York Times, The Washington Post, BBC, News 24, What is the German one? DL? Is that what they call it? ABC News is considered, ABC News has the most, is considered the least bias according to researchers. You'd probably be okay watching ABC News. You might not get much information. Al Jazeera is actually pretty good. You know, people are like bashing Al Jazeera just because it's owned by Arabs. You know, it's about the same level as the BBC in terms of quality. It's a good. It's good. It's good news. Um, yeah. But you also have to look at think tanks. For example, when I did the remote and I was accessing information on trade routes, people didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know what I'm talking about. I mean, why would I know about deals of trade routes in Libya with Putin? Come on now. Who the heck knows about this stuff? So I did the remote and I followed the energy, and Putin was very upset about Libya. And then I had to go to the Brookings Institute, which is a think tank. It's actually a Republican think tank, but it's not a Trumpster. They're intellectuals, George Washington University, those types. Georgetown, is that what they call it? So that's how I found out. I found out through Brookings Institute. They had done a huge paper on the relationship between Gaddafi and Putin and their relationship and the contract for building the train system from Tripoli into Africa and the steel plants, etc., and about the infrastructure that Obama had bombed, basically. And then I found out about the private armies from Brookings, and I also found out that they were paying China and Russia to protect this infrastructure and trade routes that the Saudi-backed, and Gulf states were suppressing, which was keeping Africa down, quite frankly. So the fact that Putin wanted to help construct roads with Libya that was going to help Africa and also put up satellites, etc., that were going to help Africa, we sabotaged that. And we really made life hell for the people of Libya. And I don't think Libya or Iraq has recovered from what we did. So I didn't know any of that. The only reason I'm telling you, like, how the hell does Whimsy's a genius? I'm not a genius. I did the HCRV. I found the energy. I found the relationship. I didn't understand it because I didn't have the education. I don't have that education. I don't work for the United Nations, for the Brookings Institute. I found the article and was able to read it and become educated about it because I did HCRV. So that's what I want people to understand about HCRV. It is not a standalone thing. I can't stress enough. Somebody asks you to go in, maybe they have a hypothesis or something, they hire you. You go in, you do the work, you get the instincts, you smell the scent, you feel the energy, you document how you feel. It's just sensations, but you still have to go and do the research. You still have to find out which is what I do. And then the next day or two after I've done that, I come and I deliver to you the remote and how I was able to find the connections. And then I had a vision of Putin, the trade routes, and that he was going to be the new czar. Now he just came out in the CNN 3 days ago. I'm going to be the new czar. We know you've been telling us for 3 years. People, of course, thought I was crazy. They always think I'm crazy because I am crazy. But the people that love and care about me know that crazy is what protects me and protects this channel. And so that is why everybody embraces the fact that Whimsy is completely insane. She's a very sick girl. She needs to get some help for herself. And nothing I say here ever should be taken seriously. I am not reliable. I am not a reliable oracle. She's completely insane. Don't trust anything that comes out of Whimsy's mouth. All right. Well, I think the market's gonna crash again. I think we're looking at possibly it really tanking by October. I think that within the next 3 weeks, we're gonna see improvements in oil prices. As I mentioned, food prices will drop after that, after the oil, and that makes sense because it costs money to transfer the food. So if the price of oil goes down, then the compensation prices for moving the food should be dropping also. So expect oil first in the next 2 to 3 weeks just begin dropping, and then food prices will follow. Housing prices, it's gonna take longer to adjust, but we could see a steady drop in housing markets, by December, and if you're wanting to buy property, you can think about doing it between winter and spring of 2023. So that's basically, um, yeah. Yeah, more blitzes, sure, why not? It's up to you guys. I can quit now or I can keep going if you guys have more questions. She's stark raving mad. She's gone down a rabbit hole. Adam Waldman is not the PR guy for Vladimir Putin and bin Salman. He is not attempting to overthrow the US government by bringing in foreign governments' money and creating fake channels on YouTube with subliminal messages to turn you towards the alt-right. You have not been the victim of programming. I have not been attempting to deprogram you for the last 8 weeks. You are not being deprogrammed. You are not being deprogrammed. You were not programmed by Adam Waldman and his alt-right fake channels. You were not programmed. And the 2016 election was not stolen by Donald Trump because you're saying that his PR firm did not influence people's vote. Russian propaganda did not influence people's vote. Adam Waldman did not help Donald Trump steal the election by taking Russian money and creating a disinformation campaign. He did not steal our election. It did not influence people's votes. So if he uses the same technique to taint a jury, you didn't get influenced because you're too smart for that. And Americans are too smart to be fooled by this type of propaganda. They voted for Donald Trump because they really like him, as opposed to Hillary Clinton, who is, you guessed it, gone girl. Girl gone. Go, go, gone girl. Go, go. Girl gone. Shoo, shoo, bang, bang. Crazy Hillary. Same PR firm. Say it's just one guy. That's the thing. It's just one guy. If anybody has any questions for Vladimir Putin about why he did this, now that we're talking directly to his lawyer openly and publishing his comments, I mean, if you have any questions for Putin, now would be the time to ask them. since everything's out in the open now? Why'd you do this? I'd like to know. Okay, so are we done? Where's the questions? Any more questions about anything? So, Mimi Rose. So, does what means when the stock market crashes in October, the repukes win Congress in November? I think that's a great question. I really do want to look at that. Well, if people don't begin to snap out of it, if social media doesn't begin to do what is morally and ethically wrong, right, and stops taking Putin's money and a bunch of other foreign actors. It's a cute little TV court. What? I'm not doing anything wrong. Allah Akbar. I am just wanting to shame the witch on American TV. Follow the money. Death to the LGBTQ, right? See how bisexual women are. Look to those messages. So let's look, if we can't discern this stuff, if we can't begin to rip the veil off and say it's all Adam Waldman and his sleazy oil PR firm, this guy is it's so easy. All he has to do is take his $1 billion or whatever, and then you've got all these fake, and he just gives them all money. And then it's not like he's producing it all. He might take a couple pictures and he'll have them create his trolls create that, like that stupid cover I showed. If you go to my community page where it's like him against Amber. I mean, like, it looks so stupid. It's like, once you find it, it's like embarrassing. Go take a look. That's the thing. You can catch him because he pees on everything. So just put his name in parentheses when you Google, and up will come all the fake PR magazines. And then all you have to do is write them down and say, hey, none of these are real. And then see if they survive. See if they're associated with Reuters, if they're considered legitimate news magazines. That's how I would start my search. I would start by putting his name in parentheses, and then you'll find all the magazines that are associated with his PR firm. It's a mixed bag, and it's blessings. We're actually going to be pleasantly surprised by some of the results we're not going to be slaughtered. And actually, some really good, we're going to be thrilled by it looks like there's some governorships and some powerful positions where we're going to be thrilled. A new contract is coming with the United States. Americans want full disclosure. Remember what the karma card was for our community and beyond, the sun. People want to know who the hell is giving money to who and what the real agenda is. We want to be informed consumers. That's all. So you have 3 of Pentacles, which is a new contract, the other in relationship with us. So the person that's trying to mess with our democracy, I think with an 8 of Swords, I think that the government, the United States, is trying to do something to protect us. The hopes and the fears. And you can see here a celebration is happening over a new guy, new in leadership. So I think we have a new governor. I'm wondering if they're telling us that oh my God. I think Beto O'Rourke's going to win. They're talking here a lot about, even though we don't win everything, what we win is huge. Look at this. You have a man coming into power, probably a governorship or something like that. But look, he's got Archangel Michael over him. And so, and they're saying there's something about how the Democrats are going to be celebrating this huge victory. So I think it's very likely we could win Texas. And I think what happened with Texas was I think Roe v. Wade and gun violence cost the Republicans of the governorship based on these cards. So yeah, I can hear you saying hip hip hooray. I can actually hear you guys. Oh, she heard that? Yes, I heard it. So then the other issue that I would say here is that we see more working across the aisle because the bad actors are removed. Because you can see here the clarification over this new contract with the Republicans. We actually have a Six of Cups. So it's actually a much more pleasant relationship with the Republicans when they're not taking foreign money. And they're like actually joking with us. I actually see young new Republicans that are coming into Congress that are nice people that are actually working on bills. I see you tried to put that in on that issue. Yeah, I thought I would try and do that. It's like, yeah, well, no. Like they're actually joking about it. They're not killing each other. And that energy comes with the Six of Cups. Come on back. Let's have a healthy debate between two strong parties without all these bad actors. In terms of the bad actors, the other in relationship with us, which is the foreign influence, we can see here Eight of Swords and Death. So I do think we're headed towards social media being held accountable. And then, like I said, the final outcome would be Archangel Michael over the victory of somebody. It looks like it's a governorship. I'm going to go ahead and predict that it's Beto O'Rourke and that he will win unless something really strange happens. And I think I think we're going to be seeing huge victories in Texas unless something really dramatic changes. Wow. That was a great thing to end on, wasn't it? What do y'all think of that? I love you. I love you. I love you so much. No. You want to say hi to them? No. Say hi. Say hi. Let's interview her. So, Mila, what do you think about the polar ice cap melting? You have anything to say about that? Not happy about it? Okay, you can go up here. Oh, oh, Mila, are you okay? Oh, I'm sorry. Usually when she does that, it's her way of saying it is lunchtime for her. She's got to eat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt my cat. Mila, I'm coming. I have to say goodbye to you guys. She's hungry and she wants attention, and she's letting us know it's been too much. Love and light to all of you. If you're trying to get in for a tarot reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com and schedule your online readings. If you're trying to see me as a naturopathic doctor, I only do telemedicine, general wellness coaching. But you can find out that information at drwhimsy.com if you'd like. If you need a naturopathic doctor, I do coach, but it's via Zoom. And then finally, if you just need a quick pre-taped reading, I think they run about $20. You can get those at Wizio. You send me the question. It usually takes me a few days, but because I do have a lot of people use Wizio, and then I can get your question back to you relatively soon. Stay well, everyone. Be safe. Have fun out there. Be gay. Be merry. During this amazing month of Gay Pride. But also be safe, because there's a lot of confused, strange people out there that have some strange ideas about a lot of things. And we want everybody safe. Okay, take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. And thank you so much for donating to feedamerica.org. It's a great group, and I know that it's much appreciated. All right, take care, everybody. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for the new memberships. It means a lot.